Nose for Life's Playbook. Oh, thanks, Katie. I'm
Always.
Marty Schneider, and
I'm Katie Clark. I am a matchmaker and relationship expert. But nonetheless, because everything we talk about, our four quarters in this show is always something to do with people and relationships and doing life better, right, girl? Because that's really our goal here.
that's it. We just want to say, like, we're always feeling like we are the cheerleaders to get you through whatever it is. And so the X's and O's for Life's Playbook. And really, we all need X's and O's, and we all need cheerleaders. Like, if you have a cheerleader, you are definitely going to be able to accomplish more. And so we just like to be everyone's cheerleader. I know I'm, better because I've got nice cheerleaders in my corner on my field. So thank you for sure. Yes.
Yes. Well, I got a new phone. I got for a Christmas gift, I got the updated version. Not that my phone was even broken or that I needed a new phone, but I wanted the better camera.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Yeah.
And so, but the new phone like has a different way, all these little mini different buttons. I'm telling you, what did you get for presents this year?
Well, I got a pair of beautiful, hold on a second.
We're having our technical difficulties are dogs and cell phones. I mean,
oh my gosh. Yeah. He wants to be.
Worst.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to turn this down. I don't even know yet.
Oh yeah. Well, when it comes to technology, I'm just a disaster at it. Although, like, look at it this way, I feel like we're probably better than we think we are. Like with everything, we think we're better than we think we are. So that's something good. I had a beautiful holiday. I've got, of course, some nice material gifts, and then I was very fortunate that my mom is here and was able to celebrate another holiday with us. And that is the best gift ever. So while I love my, I got earrings and some sweaters and, obviously nice cards and so forth, the best gift is my mom being here to join us for the holidays.
Right. The best gift is family. I mean, and I'm here in Austin. My kids came to visit all three. I had to fly them in from different states and countries and, Europe and different things like that. But we were in Dallas. It was our first, our pastor was talking about this. You'll never get this Christmas back, and your next Christmas will be different.
Yep.
Right. So it's my first Christmas married. It's my first Christmas in my new house. It's my first Christmas with all three of my adultish kids in my new house. So it was great. And I'll never get that Christmas back. So I think it was a good reminder of just really cherishing it. So I drove them down to Austin. We needed a change of scenery. So this is my lovely hotel room, but family is everything. And I think that's what I love about us and our little show. We always end up coming back to family. And in football, family is everything. Football is a family, right?
It is. And, okay, so actually when you would say that, like, you never get that first experience, there was this football player named Noshawn Moreno, and he was this sweet guy. And every time they would play the national anthem, he would have these huge tears running down his face. And he was interviewed, and it was so beautiful. And they said, "No, Sean, and this was probably about, 8 or 9 years ago. And they said, "What are all the tears about?" And he said, "Well, I'm standing here lined up with my football family, and this beautiful song is playing, and I get to do the thing that I get emotional thinking about it, the thing that I love." And he's like, "And I know, and I'm soaking it all in, and I know that next week is going to be different. We're going to be in a different stadium, or even if we're home, people might get injured. He might get injured." And he was like, "So I just soak it all in and just appreciate it for what it is." And it's so beautiful. And like, I always think about that. I'm like, just to enjoy, to soak it all in, and to be appreciative of the moments, because the memories are typically better than the events. Oftentimes, like, oh, the meat might be overcooked or whatever, but you look back on it. And I kind of like it when things happen like that in some ways, because it's like a funnier story.
Right.
That, not funny. I mean, thankfully it was okay. On Friday night, Leo, my youngest, called me at midnight. You never want to see the phone ring at late at night. And I didn't get the phone the first time because I figured he was just staying out. And then he called me right back, and I answered the phone, and he was like, "Mom." And I was like, "Oh no." But I knew he was, at least I could hear his voice. And he said, "I just hit a deer." Oh. And so, of course it was like, "Did you kill Rudolph? Like, you better not have killed Rudolph on Friday night."
Sometimes those deers are like out for something, because I've had deers jump in front of my car, and I'm like, okay, wait a minute now. Like, I was driving, you came in front. So that's on the deer.
Yeah. So ultimately I was like, well, this is you're fine and the car is going to be okay and whatever else. But it was like a good lesson and a good reminder sometimes of these things, just to slow down and appreciate all the moments that we have together. And that's something that I'm so thankful for, because obviously, those are accidents and they happen at all times. And you just have to be, careful in life and just appreciate all the moments that we have, the beautiful family moments. Yeah. And there's so many.
Living in gratefulness. I mean, if I can share a quick story, this was probably the year 2004 or 5. It was January 1st. I used to live in Minnesota. Great people in Minnesota, had a great church there, really good church family. This one family had 4 kids. Their son was getting married on January 3rd. And the daughters on January 1st, when I say daughters, they had a 19, 17, and 12-year-old daughter. They were driving to the bridesmaids dinner, very Christian, awesome family. The mom was the singer at church and the kids would sing with her. They were just great kids. And, the 3 sisters are driving. It's a 2-hour drive, about 5 minutes away from where they're supposed to meet for dinner as bridesmaids. They got in a car crash and they all died. The other car was a 15-year-old driver practicing, and he got a little ankle injury, and him and his mom, and they were fine. And it was a very sad, just a heartbreaking story, right? It's just, I remember when someone told me the news, the Mayer sisters died. You go, no, they didn't. There's no way all 3 sisters can die. Like 2 days before their brother's wedding. I mean, talk about unbelievable storyline, right? And one of them survived to the hospital, but then she did pass. One didn't have her seatbelt on. I mean, the car was older. The family didn't have a lot of money, but they had a car. It was an older car, so there was no airbags, things like that. And of course, the other car was fine, and the people in it were fine. 5 minutes away. Point of the story is, imagine being that mom, having to drive to the hospital 2 hours away to see if those are your kids, the husband and the wife. And this is what I love, though. The end of the story is, it's still God's goodness. The mom and the dad are strong Christians, and they're like, God is still good. The Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. But blessed be the name of the Lord. Like, their faith was, it was hard, but their faith didn't change. They still had the wedding, believe it or not. They said that sisters would have wanted the wedding to go on. So the brothers still got married on that Saturday. Wednesday of that following week, they had the funeral, and they put the girls in the bridesmaids' dresses. And, the pastor said, who gives these girls to be the brides of Christ? I mean, not a dry eye in the house. They're still married. A lot of marriages will just fall apart after things like this. They're still married. They love the Lord. It's just such an amazing story. And I remember one time the dad, after the girl's passing, I saw the married couple, and he gave me a hug, and his hug was like this genuine father hug. Like, you could tell he valued people differently afterwards, and even though I wasn't his daughter, the way he hugged me just felt like a father hugging a daughter. It's precious. It's precious. Out of a terrible situation, they still have faith. They still love the Lord. They still love life, So and if you ever read Debbie Mayer, she has a book. I mean, unbelievable. So I always pray that I'm that kind of strength in a bad situation. But like you said, we value them before we have to deal with that, right? Value what we have now.
Yes. Well, I mean, and finding a way to save or create the legacy while it's still there versus always like doing it afterwards. So it's kind of like with everything, just trying to find a way again to have the winning playbook. We always say we're X's and O's for life's playbook. And if you have a good playbook, then you're going to have a better chance of creating stronger relationships, stronger work ethic, stronger discipline, stronger family relationships, just being able to sustain something that most people can't. And friendships and maintaining friendships. And it's something I'm so thankful for, my friendships, like that they are people that I'm grateful for and celebrate and am thankful for, because I know that friendships are often something that you have to, again, put a lot of work into, but the result is so beautiful.
Well, and we have a lot of good ideas. It's the end of the year. We just celebrated Christmas. We've been doing our little themes, as the seasons go on. And so we're going to be talking about end of the year health and wellness is always, first quarter. And then we're going to talk about summer vacations and planning it now so you can create those memories. we're going to be talking about some family memory building, which is these time capsules I create. And then you're going to teach us how you create a fourth quarter New Year's resolution, but a better way. So we're going to bring all those topics up, but let's talk about, of course, health and wellness, always our first thing, because without your health, you got nothing, right?
That's it. That's it. You got nothing without your health. And lately it seems like there's so many different things that people say to do, like do this, don't do that. I was recently diagnosed with some thyroid issues and another thing. And I was like, okay, so I'm just going to try to take, like with everything in life, I'm just going to take the things that seem to make the most sense without being so crazy on one side and so crazy on the other side. Just take what makes the most sense and try to implement those into my life. That's what I'm going to do.
Well, speaking of that, I used to actually I'm dating with Katie now, but I used to be Fit Chef Katie. And one of the things I used to say is your health has everything to do with everything you do. Just as a reminder to people. And sometimes it's not until we're sick and we are kind of incapacitated and we're like, that we realize, wow, when I'm healthy, I should be more grateful to be healthy. But my husband and I, we decided to do dry January, which is no drinking. And I think, let's have a glass of wine in front of the fireplace. Like, let's make a cocktail. Like, let's go out and have one. We probably drink almost every day, a drink here and a drink there. And we'll split a glass of wine sometimes for dessert instead. So it's interesting. We do drink a lot. And, some people say it's social.
Right.
But when I see it, we are drinking that much. It's like, wow, okay, now it's a habit. It's becoming habitual. So we're trying dry January, no drinking at all. He's glad because he's trying to lose a little bit of weight. And that will definitely, as Fit Chef Katie, I used to say liquor makes you thicker. And so not drinking, even my 22-year-old son's like, Mom, when I don't drink, my chin gets better. I'm like, oh my goodness. But so we're going to be doing the dry January. And so then I also said to him, I said, babe, why don't we try the Whole 30? And have you heard of that, Marnie?
I have. Yes, but tell me what it is. I've heard of it. Yeah, but wait, tell me what it is.
There's all these, there's the hard 75. I think there's like that one. There's all these different plans. What I like about the Whole 30, it's actually, the goal is to cut a lot out of your diet because you're going to try to see what you're allergic to. And a lot of inflammation, a lot of just even thyroid issues, sinus issues is actually from what you're eating. Yeah. So what you do is for 30 days, and you can't miss a day. If you miss a day, you have to start again, which I'm like, ooh, I don't like that, but okay. I can do anything for 30 days. There's no dairy, and that includes goat dairy, no dairy at all. There's no dairy, no drinking, no alcohol of any kind. There is no caffeine. There is no grains. So, and I'm a rice girl. I like my grains. There is also no vegetables, like you're cutting out vegetables, which is beans and legumes. I still have to do my work on this. The caveat is at least you can have potatoes. So I can have some salty potatoes. I don't think you can have French fries, but you can have some cooked potatoes. So, okay. But there's so many things. You were just talking about vegetables too, and plant-based. Like, what do you think?
Well, I've been reading a lot that like plants are not supposed to be eaten the way that we eat them. Like actually, they're supposed to be to keep the oxygen levels high out in the universe and things like that. But naturally they create, and I just read a blip about this, they create their own toxins to keep the bugs from eating them. So they're really very inflammatory for regular humans too, because they've created, certain kale and certain things like broccoli is not good. It takes away all your iodine. So fruits are way better than vegetables. And I've been reading about that a little bit just to figure out some things going forward with me and my mom and her dementia, how do I keep myself healthy and so forth. And I think I eat pretty well, but just cutting things out, and I have this debate with my friend all the time. She was like, no, salad and lettuce, whatever is very healthy. And I'm like, it's not unhealthy, but it's not necessarily good for you either. It's sure, it's better than eating, an entire, maybe a hot fudge sundae, although I do like a good hot fudge sundae. I would rather eat that. If I'm going to, all things being equal, I'm like, I'd rather eat that than eat, plants. Maybe they're not, maybe it's not, maybe they're equally now discovering it. But I think that sugar also is the thing to stay away from too.
Right.
The sugars. So on this Whole 30, you don't eat any vegetables on the Whole 30.
Vegetables, maybe. I think it was grains, no beans. No
Right.
legumes.
What
We can
about
eat green beans, but my
and
husband
what
hates
about
green
fruits?
beans. I like green beans, peas.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting when I was Fit Chef Katie, and people just need the basics sometimes because you think people know about health and wellness and how to eat right, but they actually don't. I started telling people there's no bad food technically. It's if you eat too much of a bad food, you can have a bite of a Reese's peanut butter cup. When you have seven, now you've chosen poorly, right?
Right.
And I always would tell people it's your choices. It's not the food, it's your choices around the food. And I used to say there's always a good, better, best choice. So again, in making your decisions, like how can I make the better and best choice? And I always said, if you eat okay, you look okay, you feel okay. But when you eat great, you look great and you feel great. When you eat crap, you look like crap and you feel like crap. So again, it's choices. I mean, it'll be interesting to do this whole 30. I mean, I really have to prep. And it's hard
What's
because
in
I
the
love to go
protein?
out.
What about the proteins on it? What do you have for that?
Oh, I think you can knock yourself out on proteins, which I like proteins. Some people don't like proteins. I got friends that are vegans, but I know vegans that are overweight because they eat potato chips. So it's there's so many theories out there. I think you need to find what works for you. I also think you need to find what works for your lifestyle. What can you actually keep doing? Right?
Yep.
If it could sound good in theory, and then you're just stressed out going to the grocery store. It's expensive. Some of these are very expensive to follow. But really getting in tune with your body, which is why I like the whole 30, because it's more about then you bring these elements back in to see, did you get a rash? Like I used to have a rash down in my stomach line. I'm pretty fit. And my girlfriend's like, what's up with all those little bumps? Now I used to think it was from some sort of food. I actually think it was from the water where at my old house in Long Beach.
Uh-huh.
So because that's where the shower water would hit me, and I'm water is full of toxins, but so because those are gone now, and the only thing that has changed, my diet hasn't, is actually the water in my new house in Dallas. So I do think, and my water filter was full of like white chunkies, like back in Long Beach. So these are things that you need to start to be mindful of. And I also know for the month of January, just health and wellness, I don't take any vitamins, and I really need to get on it. I always felt like vitamins are for people who don't eat healthy, but I know lots of people who eat healthy and take vitamins. So just finding the right
Magnesium.
vitamin.
I've been taking magnesium lately, and that seems to be that's something. Magnesium, we all can use magnesium.
Yeah.
And then what I've also been doing is like once a week I will go and get and it's an extravagant treat to myself, but I don't go to Starbucks instead. And I'm like, because I can spend $10 at Starbucks a day, just whatever. So instead of doing that, I'll go and I'll get a bag of fluids at the hydration place.
Oh,
With
and do you notice a difference?
Oh my gosh, Katie. Yeah. I mean, I went yesterday because I was feeling a little run down, and I never get like, I'm off the charts energy wise. Yeah. And so I yesterday went and got a bag of fluids, and I had them add in some extra glutathione, which is a natural detoxifier. And it also makes your skin glow and everything else in your hair. Even though, I mean, my hair looks crazy now because I just let it air dry. But yeah. So going to the IV place or a B12, like just getting a B12 shot once a week is really a huge thing because we're all a little bit deficient in that. But definitely magnesium and B12. Those are my two things that have made a huge difference.
Well,
I think
I'm going to add those to my list. I love it. Well, let's talk about the next list, which would be summer vacation plans now. Like you got to start planning this stuff now. I've learned, I did Amalfi last year with my kids. You've got to plan it now because everything gets booked out. You get janky rooms. I mean, what are your summer plans with your kiddos? What do you got coming up?
Well, we're trying to figure actually that out. Obviously, because my mom, and her health, I don't like to go away for that extended period of time. So we had talked about maybe going to Scotland or doing something like that, but we've put that on pause until down the road. We will go to one of our favorite places in the world is Jackson, Wyoming. And so we will go there, and it's great in the winter and it's great in the summer. And, we spent a lot, my kids have spent a lot. They've spent all their summers there, not the past couple summers, just things have changed a little bit, but we will go there and you get to do all the nature-y things like, whitewater rafting and fishing and some hiking and so forth. And then also it's just a great place. And the weather is usually really good. And we've got friends there. So I'm very excited to go and just the nature, the Tetons, it's like, that expression, go take a hike. I actually think that that's a good expression. I tell myself, go take a hike all the time because it actually it's a good thing. Like,
Yeah.
it makes you reset yourself. Like, go take a hike. Like, I'm gonna go just on a walk. That's my version of hiking these
Right.
days. Go take a hike. It really, it's like, and that's just life. I think when you hear certain things and like maybe you take them personally, like maybe go take a hike is a good thing,
I love it.
right?
I used to, my kids didn't like hiking. We lived in LA. We didn't do a lot of hiking, but for Mother's Day, here's the rule. Whatever I want to do, y'all got to shut up and do it. I
Right.
started taking my kids hiking in Laguna Beach, different places. LA's, if you drive around LA, you'll find some places. And now my kids love hiking. They absolutely love it. I've wanted to do Havasu pie with them in different places, but make your kids do it. Like, find a day out of the year. And the great thing is all you do is talk. You talk and talk and talk. And I love listening to my kids talk about their memories. But speaking of memories, I wanted to share for third quarter here, just about relationship building. One of the things I've been doing ever since I got divorced, I wanted to create different things that I do at my house that my husband didn't do, right? That my ex-husband didn't do. So I created a time capsule with my kids. And it's a big, and I don't have it with me because we're traveling right now, but we were supposed to do it on Christmas Day, but we just relaxed on Christmas Day. And my kids have really gotten into it. As a matter of fact, this morning at our hotel during breakfast, it took us an hour and we're still not finished with just the start of our time capsule. And I wanted to share and show it to you. And this is, again, it was started as kind of a makeshift. And so this is a really simple version because my kids were little, right? They were, let's say 8, 10, and 12. They weren't even that. I think they were younger than this. So it just starts with, your favorites of 2023. So, I put numbers for my kids. So all they had to do was write 1 through 10 on their sheet of paper, and they had to write their favorite trip, then their favorite memory, then their favorite present, then their favorite class, because they were all in school, class in sports or job. Now people are getting jobs and it's different. Your favorite movie or TV shows, number 5. Number 6, your favorite restaurant or meal. Your favorite friends. It's always fun to read back. Your favorite song, your favorite cereal. We put literally cereal. Or food or drink. That's number 9. And number 10 is your favorite quotes. And now we also added outfit, your favorite outfit of the year. We are progressing. And I think it's been really great. So that's the first part of the page, or the front of the page. So this is like,
you know what I love about this, Katie? What I love about you is that you are such a teacher.
I'm such a teacher.
Oh my.
I've been a teacher. Yeah.
I know. And I love it. And a
culinary arts teacher. And I have a big folder and I clip, I didn't even punch holes in this. This is just like homemade holes. And so we keep them in there. So this is the beauty of this though. So we always go back and usually we read those first. We read about we don't read about this, but what we do, because then we still have the next part, which is your goals for, this will be 2024.
Right.
So what we usually do is we read the goals from last year. That was for 2023. Then we do this. I didn't bring it all. We're kind of going out of order. And they always have to also put a self-portrait, right? I make that in there. Maybe I'll make this nicer and send you a copy. Like, I can update this. But here's this year's, and my kids have been working on it. This is mine. So these are my faves of 2023. I've got a ring, the Italian flag, and then my new house. This is my self-portrait. It's one of the photos. I literally have to go through my phone to look at photos to remember everything. So I scroll through my year and, and I put little pictures, and this is just my memories. Because we're going to get old and we're going to forget. We're going to forget our details. So that's really fun. And then I haven't written my goals for 2024. I'll probably put that on the back side. So none of my kids, we haven't gotten there. Now my son, my youngest, his self-portrait is this picture. I don't know if you can see it. It's him upside down.
Kind of, yes.
Yeah. In Capri, when we were in Italy on a boat, he does this jump and we have a photo of him flipping. And so he recreated the photo of him flipping on August 9th. It's just cute. So, and the older they get, the more they write. It's so amazing to see them just really, here's my daughters with her little self-portrait and,
cute.
Yeah. So this is it's an amazing way to really go back, sit down, have some time, and you can start at any age. Just start it now.
And you're creating a family tradition, and it's so good to do things that then your kids will do, that they'll remember doing, that can be carried on. And I love that idea. That's great.
Yeah. And my son's girlfriend had visited, and she was looking back at his with, she's like, oh my gosh, these are so cute. And the self-portraits when they're little are hilarious,
Oh, I bet.
And we have, if we have a guest, we have the guest do it, and then I mailed it to them at the end of the year. I mean, I had an ex-boyfriend once that did it with us, and so I just mailed it to him, and I was like, I hope you're having a good year. I'm married and engaged. Bye-bye, you know? So it's just fun. I think people who are around like it. The kids love it. It's good for our memories. You know, it's hard to remember everything in a year, but then you start, and as you're interacting, someone will say something and you're like, oh yeah. So
well, I have this app, which is a gratitude journal, and I write in it every morning. So I think that like that's something also that would be if people are looking for a way to just write things down, and it takes 10 minutes, not even, and I just do it every morning. And if you forget, it's okay. But like I try to have a streak going of,
yeah.
you know,
Wait, what app is that? What app?
It is. I'm gonna hold on. It's called It's called the something journal. The 5-minute journal.
And you know, Marty, I always tell people every 15 minutes is only 1% of your day. So even if it's less, if it takes you 10 minutes, that's less than 1% of your day. You still have 99% of your day to do your other things. So when people used to say, oh, I don't have time to work out, I was like, baloney. If you give me 30 minutes of your day, that's 2% of your day. You got 98% of the day to do something else.
Yeah, so it's called like the 5-minute journal. I'm not sure what the actual app is. I'll send it to you. But it's so good because it really does keep, and you know, every day you can start like, you can do it twice a day, 3 times a day. I mean, it's a great thing if you're feeling uncomfortable or bored or whatever, you can just use it as a place to write all your notes. And it's a great thing to look back on and be like, oh, I'm thankful. Like, you know, in whatever last January or last December, I was thankful for this. Like, so it's a great way to track everything and keep everything organized. And I like to do that because I have a lot of things to be thankful for. So I try to pay attention to all of them and appreciate all of that. And so, you know, we were talking about resolutions, and I think most people agree that like resolutions are not something that actually make a lot of sense in a lot of ways. That's like the idea of it. But I like to say that they're resolvolutions because I like the word resolve. Like if you have the resolve to do it, then you might do it. So resolving to do something, being resolute about something, which is different than a resolution, but resolving to do it, to me is something that I try to, you know, work on some resolvolutions every year, things that I resolve to do. And, you know, and be okay with yourself if halfway through it, you change path, because it's a circuitous path. Like that's what life is often. And it's not, you know, success. They always say, like all the successful people will say, like, success is not a straight line. It is like a windy, circuitous path to get there. And you have to keep going. Like it's not just a straight road.
Gosh, what is this word you're using? I don't know this word.
What, circuitous?
Yes.
So circuitous is like I mean, my definition of circuitous means it's like it's like a circle, like circular almost, or like a windy path. Circuitous.
I love it. You know, I'm a logophile. Like logophiles love big words, and so that kind of thing just excites me. I always have a word a day, and when my kids are little, those SAT words those kids have to learn. So I love it. I don't even know how to spell it. Spelling's not my jam, but you're right. It's
circuitous definition. Okay, it is a noun. Adjective. It is of a route or journey longer than most direct way.
Okay, you're spelling. How do you spell it though?
circuitous.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Circuitous. Love it. Yeah, it means not straight or direct.
Okay,
not straight or. Now, I mean, here's in life, you want to be. You're having conversations with people. You want to be straight and direct. They deserve that. We want to be straight and direct when we're talking to people. But as far as like our own personal journey, it is a circuitous path. So just enjoy it.
Yep. I love that. Well, great. So what is one, let's each give one resolvolution, if I'm saying that right, that we're going to be working on.
I think I'm going to resolve to be maybe a little bit more organized with some of my personal items, like my photographs. They're all over the place, and it's a little bit of a stressor to me because I want to keep everything together. And I've got some in this closet, some there. And I was like, my number one project in early January is to get all of my family photographs together from my grandfather winning on the Eagles and my mom, get them all together, and then scan them into something so that I will have a hard drive of them or whatever it is. That is like it's not really a resolve, but it's something that I definitely want to do early January. So I'm going to do it. Yep.
Yeah. My mom did make photo albums, old school photo albums. So that was back in the days with real pictures. And she did organize it after she, retired. Then she passed away pretty quickly. So those were all finished. And now I've received them all. So I do have, I do scrapbooks for my kids with real pictures. Kids do love real pictures. There's something very interesting about getting them put on paper where you can page through them. So I'm with you. I still haven't done my wedding. I haven't done our trips, and I want to do them on Shutterfly, one of those books or whatnot. So I'm with you on that, girl. I will cheer you on all along the way.
Okay, good.
One of my resolutions, I resolved to write a book. So I got so many book ideas in. I need to just sit, which is not my strength. And I don't want to use AI. I do not want to use a ghostwriter. I want these to be from me. So it's going to take some resolve for me to sit down and have a consistent effort to write a book. I love talking. I love doing this kind of thing. And this is my ease. This is what works for me. But I think to have it in paper so that people can read like creative ideas for relationships, the teacher in me wants it on paper so people can pen and, write things in there as well. So that's my resolve.
Well, you're going to do it as somebody who's written 9 books and with a few more on the way. I will be your cheerleader and advocate and champion in all of this. And I'm excited. I know that a year from now, we'll be celebrating the book launch.
That's a great word picture, because that's what you need. How do you eat an elephant one bite at a time and work backwards from that? So I literally need to write down, I need to have chapter 1 by this, chapter 2 by this. So
yes.
Ooh, big breath. After my children leave, focus on them.
Right. I mean, that's the thing. Just day by day, it's like we've all got a lot of projects that we're doing, a lot of stuff. I've got, we've all got lots of big things that are happening. Coach Vermeil, who coached for the Eagles and coached for the Rams and won the Super Bowl and is in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, he would always say, to do big things, you got to do big things.
Okay.
So you got to do big things. That's it. Personally, professionally, family wise, philanthropy wise, we got to do big things. That's it. Yeah. And that is what's exciting.
All right. Well, let's go do big things. Until next time, make sure that you're following us on Instagram, and it's Game on TV. Game on TV, right? Game on.
Yeah, Game on TV. Yeah.
At Game on TV. X's and O's. Well, you'll find us. It's like our cute faces in that picture. Email us at gameonxotv@gmail.com. Guys, we want to hear from you. We want to hear what you want us to chat about in our 4 quarters. But nonetheless, this is always just an uplifting moment to and I hope other people are getting uplifted. But I know just between the two of us, hey, this is amazing.
Amazing. I know every time, I feel like, okay, I've learned something. I want other people to, join in and participate with us. So yeah.
Circuitous.
Okay. So starting next week, we'll have a word of the show. How about that?
No other show is doing that. I definitely think we need to. Everybody should be a logo file. And I won't see you till 2024. So have a phenomenal new year.
Oh, well,
everybody should get free licks like that.
Yep. Right, Irv? Yep. We send lots of X's and O's. Have a beautiful, safe 2023 going into 2024. I'm very grateful that we connected and that we're here now, and lots of great things ahead.
And we'll post these on Instagram. I'll take a little picture of this and we'll make a new one, and we'll let people know how to make these things come to fruition in their life.
Excellent. Okay, good. All right. Lots of love, Katie.
All right. Until next year. Bye, guys.
Yeah, exactly.